Ha, this guy's toast.
Hello there, beautiful people of YouTube. Today we'll be checking out one of the coolest cards of the new expansion, Renounce Darkness, which is a Warlock spell that will replace all your Warlock cards with cards from another class and make them cost one less. It'll also swap your hero power to that class's. Pretty straightforward. But what happens when you try to play it and you're not a Warlock? Let's find out. Here we have a mage playing Renounce Darkness and getting the mage hero power. Note that this does not reduce the cost of the mage cards in his hand. Upon drawing a mage card, however, you'll see that it does get reduced. Now, does Renounce Darkness stack? We re-roll again and get the mage class a second time in a row. And voila, the drawn flame strike is now reduced by 2, which shows us two things. Renounce Darkness reduction does stack, and it is possible to roll the same hero power you currently have from Renounce Darkness. The first bit of information is pretty much useless. The chances of playing 2 Renounce Darkness in one game is extremely low, and the chances of it both rolling the same class you are is even lower. But the second one can come in handy. Basically, if you play Renounce Darkness as a non-warlock, you have a 1 in 8 chance to reduce all the class cards in your deck by 1. Not too helpful, but you never know when you might get that Renounce Darkness off a Huckster or Spellslinger. So why exactly is this happening? Isn't it supposed to only give reductions to the cards that used to be warlock cards? Now that the mage cards in hand was reduced, why was the ones in the deck reduced? Here's what I'm guessing is happening when you play Renounce Darkness. 1. Renounce Darkness picks one of the 8 possible classes. 2. Replace all the warlock cards in your hand with mana reduction. 3. Replace all warlock cards in deck, but without any mana reduction. And 4. Applies a constant effect of whenever you draw a card from that class, reduce its cost by 1. Essentially a version of the Shadow Fiend effect. This would explain why the mage cards that are drawn from the deck has reduction. Even though they were never warlock cards, they don't have to be to get the cost reduced. But how do we really show that there is this hidden effect, and that the cards in the deck aren't actually reduced? If you recall from our inconsistency video, the Hunter spell tracking will bypass draw effects such as Chromagus, Flame Leviathan, and Shadow Fiend's cost reduction. Whenever you draw a card, reduce its cost. If you try and use tracking with Shadow Fiend, the card you pick doesn't get its mana cost reduced either, so tracking is definitely not behaving as a draw mechanic. Here we have a hunter who played Renounce Darkness into the hunter class, making every hunter card he draws cost 1 less. He attempts to play tracking into some hunter cards, but the hunter's mark he picked doesn't get the reduction from Renounce Darkness. Another example is Joust. Here we see the beautiful Brian Kibler play Renounce Darkness and get the Paladin class.
What can save me? Paladin!
But when he later plays a Joust card, the Mysterious Challenger that shows up is not reduced.
Go Mysterious Challenger!
Now, we've covered one other card that shares the exact same behavior as Renounce Darkness in the past, the Mistcaller. In Mistcaller's case, it applies the effect of whenever you draw a minion, give it +1/+1. It doesn't actually give the minions in your deck any bonus, which is why if Deathlord pulls out a minion directly, it does not have the Mistcaller buff. So there you have it. The most important takeaway from the video is, if you play Renounce Darkness as a non-warlock, you have a 1 in 8 chance to reduce all class cards you draw by 1. Will that information ever be useful? Probably not, but hey, it's always fun to learn.
I'm learning.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and as always, don't forget to eat some toast.
Hey, lights out.